What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. Today we're going to be breaking down the best NFL Week 8 route running from this past weekend. We're going to be talking about the three specific routes. We're going to be looking at a route from Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, and then one route from the Sunday night game that I thought was really great and a great example of how to win on a jump ball and how to create separation on a fade against press coverage. Okay, so I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few things about route running and what some of the best in the world are able to do to create some separation. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver in this offseason, you want to know a step-by-step specific schedule that you can do in the gym to improve your speed, explosiveness, power, overall strength, grip strength. Check out that very first link in the description below for our new 12-week wide receiver gym workout plans. This is a 3-month workout schedule, day by day, step by step. We break down every single exercise that wide receivers should be doing in the gym. You'll get access to our wide receiver gym plan version 1, version 2, and our new version 3. So all bundled together at a discounted price. Check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So first route's from Amari Cooper here. This was the goal line fade that sealed the deal last night. And I think one of the main things I want to talk about here is the tempo change of this route. Okay, so now, first things first, we come up pre-snap. He already knows that we got a DB who's inside shade on the goal line. So what does that mean, right? If you got an inside shade DB in the middle of the field, like on the 50-yard line, that's a little bit different than a DB who's inside shade on the goal line. Reason why? When you attack his leverage on the goal line, he's not going to backpedal. DBs are not taught to backpedal on the goal line because if they get in their pedal, as a receiver, we can just hook it up right there. Quarterback can throw us the ball and we can just fall down. Easy 6 points, right? So that DB is going to stay square. So as a wide receiver, I need to understand that pre-snap, and that's exactly what Cooper does. So he's inside shade, like we said. He's not going to backpedal, but he's inside shade for a reason. He's trying to force us to the outside. A novice receiver, a receiver who doesn't understand the concept of route running, will see the inside shade DB. They know they have a goal line fade, so they'll just take off and run to the outside. And when you run to the outside, that DB is going to get right into your hip pocket, force you to the sideline, and that's going to be close to an impossible throw for the quarterback to make. So I got to create some space, use this space that the DB gives me for my quarterback. So Cooper, what he does such a great job of is he attacks the leverage of the DB. He does this little like kind of tempo change right there just to get that DB to stop his feet and to get him flat-footed. Because when I close the distance with him, I could get him somewhat maybe on his heels, somewhat guessing on what I'm doing. And if I change that tempo, that's just going to slow him down. Because trust me, if you're not going fast, the DB's not going to go fast. If we're going slow, that DB's not going to backpedal out of there fast and sit on the route, right? He's not playing a guessing game. He's not trying to guess what we're doing. He is trying to react off of me. So this is such a great route because when Cooper does this and he attacks that leverage, he gives that little tempo change. Now, what a lot of receivers like to do is they'll attack this DB's leverage. They'll get him to keep to the inside, and then they'll hit him with like an aggressive 1-2. They'll throw him off the platform, try to really sell the slant to move him, and that creates space to the outside as well. So either one can work. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but this is just one of the best routes from the weekend where Cooper changed up that tempo, got that DB sitting to the inside enough to where he has some space for this quarterback to throw, right? We just want to create space. That's why we attack that DB's leverage, get him sit to the inside, and let's go use that space that he just gave me. And then obviously balls in the air. We should win this every single time if I have space back here. Every single time we should go up and high point it. Every single time I should secure that catch and rip it away from the DB. I know this video is about route running, but when you guys go up for a jump ball, fellas, when you go up and secure that thing, your main goal is I'm ripping it away from the DB. I don't want him to get a PBU on the way down and play my hands. I catch it, I secure it, then I rip it away. This is a textbook route here. Textbook overall play from Amari Cooper from top to bottom. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Great job changing the tempo, getting to the outside and getting that DB to stop his feet so we can create some separation. Great route. So now we're looking at this route from Jerry Jeudy. So this is going to be like kind of an inside stem out route. I wouldn't necessarily consider this a post out route. It's more of just like an inside stem. It's one of those concepts that you see a lot of teams run these days. They were talking about it on Sunday Night Football last night, that like inside stem selling like we're trying to cross a safety's face or a corner's face, and then we just pop this thing back off and get to the outside. This is a great route because it's just Jerry Jeudy doing what Jerry Jeudy does, making that sudden change of direction. Let's watch this thing full speed and then we'll break it down. So he does a great job getting across this safety's face, putting the brakes on, and then obviously making this great catch on the sideline. So let's talk about it, right? So anytime that you're running a route, and let's say maybe you have this out route, right? Keep it very simple. Let's say you just have a straight up 10-yard out and you have like kind of an outside shade DB. Maybe he's in zone coverage, whatever it is. You don't want to just run to the out because you're going to have to cut it down because this DB's outside shade and you're going to be running right into him essentially, right? What you want to do is you want to try to cross that guy's face and get him to turn his hips and commit to whether it's a bend or with an inside shade or with an inside stem, or just like you're trying to run a seam or you're trying to run a fade, whatever it is, but we have to get that DB to commit his hips and make him think that I'm just crossing his face and running right by him. So essentially you want to attack that inside shoulder. So that's exactly what Jeudy does. When he gets all the way up into this route, you see how much speed he has. He gives a little tempo change, which is again what we were talking about with Cooper, trying to slow that DB's feet down to force an overreaction out of him, right? So when we get to the sell that actual route, we see how much this DB is able to overcommit. He's fully running on this bender. He thinks that we're trying to cross space, running an over route, whatever it is. Meanwhile, that opens up space for me to the outside. I gave some space for my quarterback to actually throw me open, but also I'm able to create some separation. Now, Jerry Jeudy, this is such a great route because of how sudden his change of direction is, right? He's able to make this 90-degree cut just off of one step, right? That's not the most common thing in the world from a lot of young receivers. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, Jerry Jeudy can just move differently than everybody else. And that's probably true. He probably has a lot of natural ability that he was gifted with, but I guarantee it, he worked on a lot of these things, building up his, body of work when it comes to route running, right? And these are things that younger receivers can also take to their game. So when he gets up into this route, the reason why this cut is so sudden is because he's fully committed to the route. So many receivers, what they start to do is before they make that cut, they start to round their hip and their shoulder to the side of the break that they're going. So imagine if Jeudy started to turn this shoulder and turn that hip before he put that foot in the ground. That's a huge indicator to this DB over here, letting him know where he's going to go, and that gives him more time to react to this route. So we have to stay committed to the route the entire time with my shoulders, my hips, my eyes, my stride. Everything has to sell that I'm making that first cut. Everything has to sell that I'm trying to run by this guy's face, and how we change direction with that full speed is by being sudden with this cut. That's what y'all don't understand. It's not about just stepping hard. It's about being committed to it and almost like tricking yourself into thinking that the only way you can change direction is by being sudden with the feet. When you have that sudden cut, or if you're like running like a curl route or a comeback route, you have that sudden drop of your hips where you're violent. That's how you change direction when you're running full speed. A lot of people can sell vertical, but not a lot of people can make those sudden cuts, right? And a lot of this has to do, this specific cut right here, a lot of that has to be able to do with leg strength, ankle stability, knee stability, but that's why we work all those specific drills, those specific workouts to build on that, right? So that definitely applies, that definitely helps, but when you guys can stay committed to a break, your cuts will be more explosive, and that's why I wanted to highlight this in this video, because I think this is one of the best routes from the day when it comes to IQ perspectives, selling the inside, trying to cross the DB's face, then being able to put the brakes on to create energy and widen the gap with that DB. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job selling to the inside, breaking this thing right off, and then creating some separation on this out route. All right, so now this route right here, his receiver's name is slipping me. I hope you guys can help me out in the comment section. I feel bad that I forget this guy's name, but his name is slipping me at the time of this video. So the main thing I want to talk about here is just how he's able to get this DB to move off the platform to the inside because of how wide he's stepping outside of his frame, and then how he's able to keep his head down to make sure he doesn't lose separation, right? So when we're coming off here, you got to run a fade against a press DB. Most important thing is to get him to hesitate, get him to stop his feet at least. We don't need to break his ankles every time, and keep the separation to the outside. So let's watch it full speed. So he does a great job hitting him with that double up, getting the DB to sit to the inside, and then keeping that distance all the way down the field, right? Great job winning the 50-50 ball as well. So when we make this double up, any good DB is going to sit on any move that we throw if we don't threaten him here or if we don't threaten him here, right? And so if he's inside shade on me, we probably want to try to threaten him here because he knows that if he's inside shade, he's not going to give up the inside. It's man coverage. He doesn't want to give up the inside unless he has safety help, right? If he has safety help over the middle, then maybe he's going to be playing outside shade. But when we come off the line of scrimmage and we hit him with this like double up where I actually am threatening him outside the frame, I'm actually stepping outside his frame, I'm actually selling with my head and my shoulders and throwing my hip into this cut, that's what can get that DB to sit to the outside. That's what can get him to at least hesitate, because at least that move looks like you're moving in this direction. What so many young receivers do is they'll take these two choppy steps and they don't go outside the DB's frame. Guess what he's going to do? He's just going to stay square, get hands and mirror you. DBs are taught to shuffle. They're taught not to open up the gate. And what I mean by opening up the gate is they're taught to not open up the gate like this too soon, right? They're taught to stay disciplined, watch the hips and stay square. So if we don't give him anything to actually threaten him, to get him to stop his feet, he's just going to stay square the entire time and sit on me, right? So this receiver off of the release, what every young receiver should do is trust that your quarterback's going to put the ball there. Don't start looking back right away. Don't make that release, get that DB to jump, and then I start peeking back when I get to about 3 yards away, because what's that going to do? That's going to just slow you down because your pad level will naturally raise up and you're not running as fast. Keep your head down, pump your arms, actually get into that full stride. So if you get separation, we can keep separation or at least get a step or two from this DB because that is open. When you have a talented quarterback, and all the quarterbacks in the league are talented, they can drop that ball right on that dime at any time. So when you have a talented quarterback, let's just make sure I get 2 steps on this DB so I can create this separation downfield. This is a great route here, great job, great example of running this fade versus press coverage. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. Great job hitting that double up, keeping the head down to widen the distance, and obviously fighting those hands to be able to make that play downfield. Great route. All right, guys, we want want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great hearing from you guys as well. And also, fellas, again, if you want a 12-week wide receiver gym workout plan, all the things you need to do in the gym mapped out for you day-to-day, sets and reps, specific splits to improve your overall route running, press releases, speed, explosiveness, everything you need to do to become a better wide receiver, check out that very first link in the description below for our 12-week program. I'll see you guys next time.